Hey yogis, let's work on pancake pose. All you will need for this class is a blanket and a couple of blocks may be helpful as well. As always, your body, your practice. Please never do anything that causes pain and modify it as much as you need. If I'm doing something you don't want to do, you can do something completely different. We're actually going to start lying down on our mats. Grab the blanket next to you because you'll need it in a moment. So come to lie on the mat. You can bring your feet flat on the floor or you can rest your legs long. Perhaps bring one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Close your eyes if they're not closed already and start to tune into the breath. Don't change it to start with, just notice all parts of your body move as you breathe. Notice where the breath seems to be held. Are you breathing into the belly or are you just breathing into the chest? And now we consciously change it. So inhale through the nose, feel the belly expand, the ribs all the way to the chest, and then exhale through the nose, feel everything slowly melt back to center. And as you breathe, it's a 360 breath, so you may feel the breath breathing down into the floor as well. You're not trying to force the movement of the belly, it's just expanding naturally as our diaphragm moves. And as you continue to breathe just like this, I just want you for a moment to visualize the ocean. As you inhale, visualize the waves coming into shore. And as you exhale, visualize the waves washing away. Inhale, waves come in. Exhale, waves go out. And then start to imagine these waves as your life. And the exhale as you let the waves go back out. I want you to let go of anything you don't need to be holding on to right now. Is it your to-do list for later? Is it actually a piece of tension? Are you holding tension in the body that you can let go of? Let go of whatever you don't need in this moment, right here, right now. Let it all go. Two more breaths just like that. Visualize the waves coming in. Visualize letting go. Last time, breathe in. And breathe out. Now, eyes stay closed, hands come into prayer above your body. You're going to start to rub your palms together. Now, with pancake pose, it's really tricky. And if you struggle with flexibility, then this class may be hard today. And I want you to let go of what you think it should look like. And I want you to really focus on how it feels in your body. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring that heat onto your heart. Let's set an intention of truth. How does this practice feel in my body? Ignoring everyone else, just focusing on you and your practice. Now blink the eyes open. This is when you're going to grab your blanket. You can place it underneath your sacrum. It just gives you a little bit of padding and a little bit more feedback. Hands go onto pelvis, and I just want you to work on pelvic tilts. So you're going to lift the tailbone, tuck it in, feel the core, and then you are going, you're going to tuck the tailbone, then you're going to lift. Hopefully you knew what I meant. So you're just feeling that movement of the pelvis and noticing if there's any stickiness here. Because if there is, that might make it harder for you to do your pancake, and that might just be something that you need to work on. And a couple more of those. Awesome. And then keep the blanket there and gently bring yourself up to sit. And you are going to just sit over the blanket as you come into our first straddle. Now, we haven't done anything, we haven't warmed up, so don't go into your extreme. Just come into a more relaxed straddle. Hands come onto your hips. If you need more height, you can maybe grab some books or a brick, which is a block that's probably half the width of that. And then again, you're going to work on these pelvic tilts, moving your pelvis, and it's harder in this position. But see how much movement you can get from your pelvis. And if straddle's easy for you, of course, you don't have to sit on a blanket. Let's do a couple more. Lifting the tail, tucking the tail, lifting and tucking. If you've got tight hamstrings, perhaps, then that can be harder as well. Lots of things can play into this. So remember, meet yourself where you are in this moment. So from here, what we're going to do is you are going to step your right foot next to your glute. You are going to pivot your knee down to the floor. You're going to lift it back up. You're going to extend the leg, working on a little bit of mobility. Left foot steps in, knee comes down, knee opens, leg extends, leg in, take it over. If this feels too much, you can go back to your pelvic tilts, knee over, take it out, extend. We're going to do one more, both sides. Rotate, take it up. Nice long spine, as long as you can make it. Take it in, take it up, extend. Bend your knees, give yourself a hug. Remove the blanket, place it to the side. Roll over your knees, come into all fours. As again, we start to take it into cat-cow and extend this movement of just thinking about the pelvis. Now going all the way along the spine, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the heart as you lift the tail, then exhale, curl in, tuck the chin, push the ground away. 2 more times just like that, inhale. Exhale round. Last time, inhale, tailbone lifts. And exhale, round. Now tuck your toes, gently lift yourself into a downward facing dog. Perhaps you give your heels a little wiggle from side to side. Maybe you want to wiggle your hips. Just feel into your down dog a moment. And then we are just gently going to step our feet to the top of the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need. And then roll up piece by piece. We're going to take this into leg swings. Make sure you have lots of space around you. You're not going to kick anything. Maybe you want to hold onto a wall. So you're going to do 10 swings backwards and forwards. You'll feel a bit of elasticity. So you're using momentum, but you're not really forcing the movement, okay? We're going to do 10, so 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to swing it to the side. I'm figuring out how I can do this to show you. There you go. So probably less movement, so you're going to bring it across and to the side. 10 times again, another 5, 4, 3, nice long spine, 2, and 1. Let's move it to the right side, backwards and forwards. Again, please don't kick anything. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just like before, bring it across and then bring it over. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come back over to your mat if you've left it. Bring your feet so they're hip distance or perhaps even slightly further apart. We're coming into elephant walks, which is a form of nerve glide. Okay, so lengthen through the crown of your head. Bring your hands onto your hips. Breathe in. Breathe out, halfway fold until you feel sensation on your hamstrings or perhaps you're feeling on your calf. You're not going to the extreme here. I just want you to feel sensation. Think 20%. Okay, and then you are going to bend into your knees one at a time. Hopefully freeing up some of that tension. So we have our sciatic nerve that goes from our spine all the way down the backs of our legs, which can hinder forward folding postures, and this just can help to mobilize that sciatic nerve. Okay, inhale brings you up. We're going to do one more set. Exhale, back down. Nice long spine as before. Go to sensation, then take those little walks from side to side. About 10 each side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale brings you all the way up. You're going to come to the top of the mat. Toes can be together, feet can be hip distance, whatever feels right for you. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hinge and fold. Imagine you have a heavy backpack on your back. Move with grace. Inhale, find halfway lift, find length. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Drop the knees, chest, chin, all the way down. Elbows point backwards. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the heart. Exhale, toes tuck, hips lift. Downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward plank, drop the knees. Walk the hands back perhaps a little bit so we're back in tabletop. I'm going to switch so you can see me. I'm going to take this into fire hydrant. So you're going to lift your right knee out towards the side. You're going to extend your leg and you're going to drop your leg down and you're going to lift it up. It can feel nicer to come onto this left forearm, gives you a little bit more space. You're going to slowly lift and lower. We're doing about 10. Perhaps you'll feel this on the left glute as well because it's helping to keep you stable. 3, 2, and 1. Come up onto your left hand, keep swinging this right leg round, and we're going to take this into a form of lizard, but I want you to stay on your hands. Maybe you bring your left knee back a little bit. And then coming back to this idea of moving the pelvis, but this time we're going to circle the pelvis. We're doing 5 circles one way, 5 circles the other way, and the intention is finding freedom. 5, you're going to switch, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale lifts you up. You might want to step your right foot a little bit towards you. You're going to kickstand this left leg over towards the right, and the right hand can come onto a block, or it can come onto your forearm and onto your thigh even, or you can bring the hand onto the floor as we come into a variation of kneeling side angle pose. And I'm going to switch so you can see. So roll the left shoulder open, roll the left hip open, drive the hips down towards your right heel. What does your breath look like? Can you lengthen it? Can you soften it? One more breath here. You need your arm to resist into the leg as well. And then pivot that left foot back round to where it was. Left hand comes down, left toes tuck, knee lifts, right arm reaches up. Hug the inner thighs in as you take a twist. Your left hand pushes firmly down. Imagine you're suctioning your left shoulder blade into the back ribs so you're not just kind of collapsing and hanging out in your shoulder joint there. Now we're going to actually mandala around and spin around to the back of our mat. Are you ready? You're going to walk your fingers over towards the left. As you come onto the back of your mat, come onto your right knee. So the left toes are pointing forward now. We're on our back knee. If you want to grab your blanket and place it underneath that knee, you absolutely can. We're going to come into a little variation of hamstring curls. Inhale, reach your hips forward, reach your arm forward. Exhale, reach your arm back as your right leg kicks in towards you. Use your strength. I'm not using my hand to grab that foot. Release, reach the arm forward, drive the hips forward. Exhale, curl it in. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more time. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Hold here. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Push really firmly down through your left foot. Kick that right heel in even more. 3, 2, and 1. Release the back toes. Lift the back knee. Open up. Warrior 2. Adjust the feet as you need. Push both feet firmly down into the mat as your gaze comes over your front hand. Lift through the crown of your head as you strongly push your feet into the floor. In a moment, we're going to move in towards horse stance. Now, horse stance is a kind of extended goddess pose. Are you ready? So we're turning our toes over towards the right, feet about 45 degrees. Let's straighten the legs And as I said, legs are a little bit wider than your regular goddess. You are going to bend into the knees. Bring your hands down to the outside of just above your knees, and push your knees into your hands. This just avoids those knees collapsing in. Then can you sit a little bit lower? Now let's cactus our arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, soften the breath, sit a little bit lower. Can you keep that activation through the legs, the knees pushing out, the feet pushing down? Can you soften your breath? Can you slow your breath? I'm smiling, but I'm struggling. It's so hard. Okay. We're going to take it towards the back of the mat in a moment. Are you ready? Take it to the back of the mat, low lunge. We're then going to pistol squat through and come to sit. What I mean by that, push into your left foot. See if you can bring your right leg through. Hands can help you. You're then going to open your left knee over towards the left, coming into Janu Shirshasana legs. Let's take a fold. Again, you can sit on a blanket or a brick. Now inhale, your hands actually come behind you. That can really help to create length through the spine. Breathe in, breathe out, folding forward over the leg. Now for a moment, I want you to really engage. I want you to feel your quadricep, push your leg really firmly into the ground, reach the crown of your head forward. 3, 2, 1, and then soften. Release that extreme engagement. We're going to do it again though. You ready? Feel that leg engage. Feel your spine extend. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, and again soften. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper. And now let go. Let go of tension in the face. Let go of the thoughts running in. Breathe and be here now. Right. Next inhale brings you all the way up. See if you can do this without using your hands. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together towards butterfly legs or Baddha Konasana. And here, you've probably done this with me before many times. Imagine there's a big cauldron in front of you. You're going to take hold of your ladle and you are going to stir your big cauldron. And as you stir, use your strength to push your knees down towards the ground. Maybe you bring your feet in a little bit closer, play around with sensation. Remember what I said at the beginning, you're really focusing on your body and what feels right for you. When you've done 5 circles one way, you're going to take it the other way for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Cross the legs, roll over the knees, take it back plank pose. Lower with control. Knees can come down if you wish, shoulders stay lifted. Inhale, tops of the feet, push them down. Breathe the heart open, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward plank, knees come down, and we're going to take it to the other side. You ready? Fire hydrant, left knee comes out, leg extends. You can bring the right forearm down as you tap the toes down and lift. 9, 8, keep the right hip super steady. 6, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left foot steps forward, come onto the hands. Maybe bring that right knee back a little bit. Stay on the hands as you start to circle the pelvis, freeing up any tension here. And again, just paying attention to, if this is really hard, then you can work on it. No judgment of your body. Let's just use this to understand our bodies a bit more. Change direction if you haven't already. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to our kneeling side angle. So our left foot is still forward. You're going to kickstand your right foot over towards the left. Grab a block if you wish to, so you can come onto your thigh. You can go to the floor, you can go to that block. Reach the right arm over, open through the right hip. Drive the hips down towards the heel. Now, if you're in this pose and you haven't done it before, or even if you have done it before, and you're thinking, this
is so hard. It is really hard, but I know from my body and from working one-on-one with students as well, over time, working on this, it gets so much easier, and that's really cool because then you start to see progress on a pose that is really tricky. Okay, are you ready? Now, pivot the body down, bring the right toes back to where they were, right hand comes down, right toes tuck, knee lifts, left fingers reach towards the sky. Hug the inner thighs in, and again, ground through your right hand, suction the right shoulder blade onto the back ribs. In a moment, we're going to shimmy around to the back of the mat, just like we did before, going towards those hamstring curls. Are you ready? Left hand comes down, shimmy the body over towards the right, so you're facing the other side of the mat. Your right toes are forward, your left knee comes down. Grab a blanket under that knee if you need one. Now, just like before, you are going to reach the hips forward, reach the left hand forward, breathe in. Breathe out, curl the left foot in, reach the right left hand back, sorry. So inhale, hips drive forward, arm reaches forward. Exhale, coming back up, bring everything in. 3 more times, inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. If your right knee is going over your ankle, that's okay. If it's causing pain, then of course bring it back. But knees are meant to go behind ankles. You're going to hold it here or in front of ankles. Think about walking up the stairs. I know some yoga teachers are like, keep it on top of the ankle, but functional movement, knee goes over ankle, and that's okay. Okay, hold here. 3, hold for 2, and 1. So your toes come down, you lift the hips, you're opening and finding a warrior 2. Push your feet really strongly into the mat like you're trying to break through the floor, and as you do, grow tall through the crown of your head. The left knee might want to cave in, don't let it. Remember, we had that little cue before, use the hand for feedback, push into the hand. Now, what does the breath look like? Can you soften it? Can you slow it? In a moment, we're coming back to horse stance. Are you ready? Turn the body over to the left. Turn the toes out, a little bit wider feet than you would goddess. This time you're going to bring your hands onto your hips. You're going to sit low. Again, you can use your hands as feedback, make sure the knees aren't collapsing in. And then from here, maybe you do some little pelvic circles again. Maybe you do pelvic tilts. You'll notice the movement is much less than when you have more space. But just trying to find a little freedom in this pose can be really helpful. If you haven't changed direction yet, you're going to change direction now. And we're going to hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Turn your body round so your right foot is forward, the left knee comes down. Remember that little pistol squat? We're going back to that now. So you're going to kick your left leg through, come to sit on your mat. Sorry if you can hear my clicky knees. So the right knee opens towards the right. Foot comes into the inner thigh, hands can come behind you. That can help you find length through the spine. Sit on a block or a blanket if needed. Breathe in, breathe out, take your stretch, but start at a point where it feels okay. So go into sensation as I was talking about before. Now fully engage, leg engages, extend through the spine, draw the heart down, and then soften. See if that helps you find a little bit more space, and perhaps just notice if this side feels different to the other. You're going to engage again. Are you ready? Leg engages, push the foot into the floor, lengthen through the spine. Feel that engagement. 3, 2, and soften. Notice if you're holding tension in the face. Notice if you're holding tension in the belly. Can you release it now? Now, inhale brings you up, grab a block, back to Baddha Konasana, but instead of stirring the pot this time, you're going to bring the block between your feet and bring your feet close towards your body. You're then going to sit nice and tall. Again, you can be on a rolled up blanket. And you are going to use your strength to open your knees down towards the floor as you stay extended as much as you can through the spine. Keep the knees pushing down as you lengthen through the spine for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, place the block to the floor. We're now going to move into our straddle and towards our pancake. As I said before, sit on a blanket, sit on a block, whatever you need. So you're going to find your straddle. And first of all, I want you to reach your arms straight out in front of you, and we're going to do reaches. We're going to do 10 of these reaches. So you're trying to hinge as much from your hips as possible. This isn't a round of the back, as much as possible. There might be a little bit of rounding, that's okay, but please listen to your body. Don't move into pain. Are you ready? Reaching 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right arm comes down, left arm comes over. We're taking this into a side stretch. Left fingers reach towards the toes, but it does not matter if they do not touch. Keep the sit bones grounded. Breathe into the side body. Big breaths into the left side. And then sweep the body over. Left arm comes down, right arm comes over. And now big breaths into the right side. Keep the sit bones grounded. Reach through the right fingertips and breathe. And then inhale brings you up through center. Now we're going to practice our pancake. It can be nice to grab some blocks or props and place them to rest your head on so you can fully release. You can grab pillows and blankets to go underneath you as well. Maybe you don't want that, that's okay. Again, listen to your body. And again, like I said before, having the hands behind you can be really helpful because it gives you a little bit of push, but you don't want to push into pain. Pay attention to the sensations in your inner thighs and your hamstrings, okay? We're going to be here for about a minute or so, so you have time. Go to the point where you feel sensation, then use your breath to inch into it piece by piece. I've said this before, and you may have heard me say this before, but there are some people in this life who are hypermobile, who are just very, very flexible. And for them, getting their belly on the floor in pancake pose can be really, really easy, okay? But they might not feel sensation, and actually they might be desperate to be more up here and feel that sensation of the stretch on their legs, on their inner thighs. I've met people like that, and they've said that, like they don't feel it. So if you're right up here and struggling to move forward at all, feel into sensation and trust in the process. And when you work on it, it will get easier over time, but we don't rush it. We don't push it. We appreciate the journey. And it sounds cliche and all that, but it's true. The point of yoga is not the pose. It's learning things about ourselves. It's what you learn in the process. Last few breaths here, and take any final adjustments that you need. And then inhale, very, very gently come up. Gently bring the legs towards each other. Maybe you give the knees a little rock from side to side, and you're going to come down to lie on your back. Feet a hand's distance from the body, and we're going to lift up towards bridge and just counteract that movement that we just did. Perhaps you interlace the hands underneath the body, and you can move this into a little bit of a back bend if it feels good for you. Breathing the heart up towards the sky, breathing the hips open. And then very, very slowly, bring yourself down. Simply bring your knees over towards the left, tee the arms, bring the gaze over towards the right, and breathe. Start to slow the exhale. Inhale through center, and exhale takes you to the other side. Gaze to the left. A gentle push down of the inner arch of your left foot to help open through the left hip. Find softness in the breath. Find extension in that inhale. And then knees come through center. Perhaps you want to hug them in, or maybe you're ready to simply extend them. Let the feet hang heavy. Keep the arms far away from the body. Lengthen through the neck. Soft breath in. Soft breath out. And with that breath out, you fully release the breath. You are now its witness. Different parts of your body move as you breathe, and each breath looks different. When thoughts come in, gently let them go. Imagine they're like those waves that we visualized at the start, coming in, but then gently going back out to sea. And before we find some silence in Shavasana, I want to leave you with a poem by Denise Levertov. It's called The Breathing, and it goes: an absolute patience. Trees stand up to their knees in fog. The fog slowly flows uphill. White cobwebs, the grass leaning where deer have looked for apples. The woods from brook to where the top of the hill looks over the fog send up not one bird. So absolute, it is no other than happiness itself, a breathing too quiet to hear. Now very, very slowly, you're going to bring some movement back into the body. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, reach the toes away from you. Take a lovely stretch. Then exhale, hug the knees in. Give yourself a great big squeeze before rolling onto your left side and taking a moment, taking a pause. Bringing yourself up to a seated position. Hands can be flat on your heart. And let's take this intention of truth, this intention of really listening in to what we need off the mat with us today. And simply we are going to end together with one breath. You ready? Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I'll see you on the mat again tomorrow.